Yeah, I wish somebody had, I wish somebody told me that, you can't really be great at something unless you're willing to be bad at it first. I think when I was younger, I had a kind of a slight perfectionist mentality, and that held me back a lot.
Ryan, how are you? It's good to talk to you, although I'm over Zooming. So hopefully the next one will be in person, but thank you for your time today.
I hope so too, Tara. I think our last 3 have been on Zoom. So nice to see you again, though.
Nice to see you too. Congratulations on this. When watching this film, I grew up loving Diane Sawyer, who actually came and spoke when I was in high school, and she talked about collecting the answers to a question. What advice do you wish you had been told at a younger age? And one of the best answers, and I want to say it was from Sandra Day O'Connor, who told Diane, I wish someone would have told me I was going to make it, so I would have had a little more fun along the way. In this film, you get to impart some wisdom to young Walker. Is there any advice that you wish you had received when you were his age or younger?
Well, would she have made it had she had a little bit more fun along the way? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
We're the culmination of all of our, missteps and mistakes and pains and aches. I wish somebody had, told me that, you can't really be great at something unless you're willing to be bad at it first. I think when I was younger, I had a kind of a slight perfectionist mentality, and that held me back a lot. But honestly, I wouldn't change anything. Got to let that little guy fall on his face, have his own unique problems and issues to work out. That's sort of how we learn. So,
you know what I loved about Walker? I don't know about you. It drives me nuts when you're watching a film and the actor who plays the younger version of somebody looks nothing like that person. And you're like, there's no way he's Brad Pitt in 20 years. I'm sorry. Walker, to me, he looked a little like a younger you. Were there some similarities that even you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, I was a toe-headed kid, just like he was. When you put pictures of us together at like that age, it's pretty damn close. I mean, we changed Walker's eye color for the movie, which was, it's done with contact lenses, but because he has blue eyes, but otherwise, it's spot on. His cadence, his mannerisms, everything. But he's also he's an obsessive Deadpool fanatic. So he's watched Deadpool so many times. I think it also helps him with the mimicry part. But aside from that, he's just an amazing actor. And that was the thing that we were looking for. We read hundreds of kids till we found Walker. And it was like winning a kind of 1 in a billion lottery.
Yeah, I actually talked to him about Deadpool. He was fantastic. It's funny, though, I was wondering if you could have been cast in a role when you were younger opposite an actor or actress whose movie you had memorized and seen 100,000 times, who would that have been?
Oh, man, I probably would have wanted to be any one of the kids in Stand By Me.
Great.
That was a movie that I watched over and over again as a kid. And you don't think about Stand By Me, but Stand By Me was a rated R movie. That was it was the first rated R movie I ever saw, but it was, so it's not like a kid's movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it does kind of invoke a lot of the same kind of nostalgia and warmth that, Adam Project does. And certainly like movies like E.T. and Back to the Future and these movies that I loved as a kid so much. We've infused some of that love into this movie.
Oh, so true. And as you've been mentioning, it is a love letter to parents. I know you've talked about your dad. I was reading, Shawn said that Jonathan, you and him got together at your house in New York talking about fathers. And I'm thinking, was this just like a weepy therapy session? Or, are you guys all three grown men talking about dads? What was that like?
It was, in a way. Anytime script writing and scripting is kind of weirdly therapy. Especially when you're dealing with anything that's even remotely relevant to your real life. And we loved it. So much of what's in the script is from each one of our perspectives and unique stories as it relates to our parents. And many of those are universal, though. So they sort of, they're themes and feelings that both mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters can all, to a certain extent, relate to.
Hi, Shawn. Tara Hitchcock. Had the pleasure of talking to you for free, guys. So thank you so much.
Pretty recently. I'm suddenly feeling very prolific because of the frequency with which we talk.
Well, you know what's sad? I wasn't even going to bring this in, but I have too much time on my hands and I've been making a Zoom leaderboard. Liam Neeson, I've now talked to him 4 times since this whole thing started.
I'm going for the crown. I'm going for the crown.
Then we need to talk a few more times in the next couple of weeks. So,
well, I got Stranger Things coming up later this spring, so I feel like we can come up with excuses.
By the way, speaking of that, I feel like between Free Guy and this fabulous film and Stranger Things, you posted not too long ago that your inner child has made a movie. I feel like your whole career has been about your inner child getting to do what he wants to do.
First of all, thank you for noticing that caption. It felt good as I was coming up with it. So thank you. I think basically it is my inner child in the director chair whenever I'm sitting there. I love stories that connect with me as an adult, but connect with me equally as still a kid. And that's the only way I know how to do the job. And this one allows us, it's fascinating, right? Because Adam Project literally, as its premise, is about meeting your inner child, your actual child self.
Well, I have to say, not to get too personal, I am the oldest of 4 girls in our family. You've got 4 daughters, and the value of being able to see your parent do what they love to do, I can't even tell you. I'm sure you've heard that from your daughters, but I noticed you took them to the screening of this. This is one of those films where you want to go with your kids and kind of make sure they're getting some of the messages. Do you ever watch them watch one of your projects?
All the time. It's much more interesting than watching my own movie for the 70th time. So yes, I did that. And last night at the New York screening, I had the other pleasure of watching Ryan's mother watch the movie. And so much of this movie is Ryan's love letter to his mother. And seeing how it affected her was very moving to me.
Did she need therapy afterwards? Because I feel like that would be nothing but boxes of tissues.
You know what? I saw where she nodded, and there's these sections, because look, the Reynolds, they lost Ryan's dad.
Right.
Mom stepped up. The boys circled the wagons and came back for their mama. Ryan wrote that scene in the bar for him and Jennifer Garner for his mother. And I just feel like this movie, I really wanted to make a piece of time travel sci-fi that was emotional, not just cerebral science fiction, but frankly, more importantly, emotional science fiction. And all of these cast members came to the movie ready to give of themselves emotionally. And I think it's why the movie is connecting with people on that heartfelt level.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said. I love that you've been talking, or not, well, everyone's been talking about Walker memorizing Deadpool. He knows the movie inside and out. If you could direct somebody that when you were 12, you were quoting the entire film, or the actor or actress that you just, wanted to be when you grew up, who would that be?
That's a great point. That's a great point. I think it would be either Mark Hamill or John Ritter.
Oh,
like,
two great
I know,
ones.
weird, that duo. I mean, you did not expect that duo. But the truth is, as a young kid, Three's Company made me realize, oh my God, laughing feels so good. Comedy can be awesome. And as a slightly older kid, Star Wars and Luke Skywalker. And you're absolutely right. Walker getting to work with Ryan Reynolds is the equivalent of me having gotten a chance to work with Mark Hamill at the height of his fame. And so no wonder Walker seemed like he was on cloud 9 every day.
I know that a lot of people have talked about the fact that you could recite Deadpool, and you watched Deadpool 600,000 times. What are the odds you can recite something from your favorite Jennifer Garner movie?
I can sing. I know the Thriller song. There you go. Look at that kid. Always taking care of me.
Always taking care of you. It is interesting, though. I know, Walker, you were probably a little bit nervous. You're here getting to act opposite an actor you admire so much. At what point did Ryan Reynolds go from being Ryan Reynolds Deadpool to just another actor that you felt really comfortable around?
Well, I don't know. I think it was the first time I even met him. Everyone. First time I met everyone, they were just like, I know I said so, but they were just like my family.
Was that the day you lost a tooth? I heard you lost a tooth pretty early on.
I lost 4 teeth filming the whole movie.
I don't know what that says about a Shawn Levy production, or just maybe you're at the age where you're losing a lot of teeth.
I was just losing so many teeth.
Jen, it's funny. Before I ask you about parenting, I do want to ask you, going back to the whole Deadpool thing, if we could cast you in a role opposite an actor or actress whose movie you recited and loved at the age of 12, who would that have been?
Oh my gosh, what did I love at the age of 12? I don't remember, but I know as a little kid, I thought The Invisible Woman with Lily Tomlin was like mind-blowingly brilliant. So yeah, I would be Lily Tomlin any day or play opposite her.
You know, when it comes to parenting, and this is, I know that they've talked about the fact that this is a love letter to parents. It really is. Anybody who's a parent, I've got 3 stepkids, you always want to know that you're just doing the best you can and you're doing the right thing. But out of all the actresses that I've interviewed, I would assume the one who does not struggle with that is Jennifer Garner. Her kids all eat organic. She's crafty. She's fun. When was the last time you struggled with, am I doing this right?
Oh my gosh, this morning, because here I am and, you know, in New York doing press and my kids are texting me saying, Mom, we kind of wish you were here. It's always a struggle. I don't think there's anyone who doesn't feel the pull of just watching your kids growing up is meant to be messy, and parents feel that mess sometimes more than kids do. And you need it. It's what forms you. It's what's foundational to you as an adult, but it's painful for the grownups to watch it happen.
Yeah. It is there's so many beautiful scenes, especially the one with you and Ryan in the bar where he's basically telling you it's going to be okay. But Walker, I don't know what kind of a kid you are. I don't know if you get in trouble in school or not, but did this film and doing this film make you look at your parents a little bit differently, or maybe apologize for some things, or maybe give them an extra hug? Did it change you in any way?
It did. I felt after the end of the movie and after like Shawn showed me it, I really felt thankful from the family I have right now.
I'm
Walker
sure they're
comes from a great family, and you really see it in just in his character and the way he shows up and who he is, and the fact that he's a kid. You know, he's just a normal kid that we all of us making the movie with Walker, we're all parents, and so we were just like, he was the one kid in the movie, and we were all just all about it all the time. We had the best time.
Jen, you get a chance to work with kids all the time. The best advice you can give someone who, I guess, what are you, 13? You're not 12, you're 13, Walker?
13, yeah.
The best advice I would give would be, when you're at work, have a blast, focus on it, have a great time. When you're not, focus on anything but. Don't feel like you need to go. You are getting a master class in acting. You could teach a master class in acting already. Make sure you're learning everything you can possibly learn, because even if you keep being an actor and that's what you are for the rest of your life, whatever you learn will be important to you at some point in time. So that would be my advice.